In vandag se les gaan ons kyk na klankverskynsels, sounds. Dit is hoe woorde uitgespreek word in Afrikaans. So what you need to remember that is very important. Afrikaans is a sound language, as we have discussed in earlier lessons. So the pronunciation of a word is sometimes different from the way that we spell the word. And that all has to do with the position of your tongue in your mouth for vowels and your lips for consonants. So let's have a look at all these different kinds of klankverskynsels that we find. The first one is assimilasie. So assimilasie beteken dat klanke wat langs mekaar staan, mekaar beïnvloed. The sounds next to each other have an influence on how we pronounce the word. For example, in the word aanpas, because your lips are closed to pronounce the P, we also tend to close our lips for the one before that. So aanpas becomes aanpas, because when we say it quicker, that's how we pronounce it. The same with the word hoender. When we say hoender, that's how we spell it, but when we talk, we actually drop the D and we only say hoender. Another example is op die. So op die, when we are speaking to each other, becomes oppie. Right, these all are known as assimilasie. The way that they will ask this to you in an exam is to give you a word. For example, they might give you hoender and ask you which klankverskynsel actually appears in this word. And then they will give you a multi-choice and then of course you will choose assimilasie. Reg, kom ons kyk na die volgende een. Klankverspringing. So verspringing beteken the sound jumps. The big word here is metathesis. So that's something that you are going to have to remember. What happens in this one, die R-klank ruil plekke met 'n onbeklemtoonde vokaal. So when we have a multi-syllable word, the emphasis of the word falls on one of the two syllables. In the unemphasized syllable, we will then find this jumping of the sound. Let's look at an example. Present, can you hear that the emphasis falls on the second syllable? Present. So what happens is that we change the R and the E around and we say percent, which actually has a different meaning. So it's not always correct to do it like that, but in the context of the sentence, people will understand what you are talking about. A present, by the way, is a gift. Reg, nog 'n voorbeeld is materiaal. Now this one changes completely and it becomes termiaal. This mostly happens with small children when they start speaking and they can't get the concept of the materiaal. So they just change it around, termiaal. And we call this klankverspringing. The last example, Turks fy, the emphasis once again on the second syllable. And that is where we find the klankverspringing. We change the R and the U around and we say Turks fy. Reg, die volgende een is klankweglating. So it's exactly what the word says, klanke word weggelaat. The sound is left out. Reg, so when we talk, and I'm sure you know this one, lekker, we don't necessarily in a sentence say, ooh, dit was 'n lekker vakansie. We just say, it was 'n lekker vakansie. Reg. So die R val heeltemal weg en ons sê lekker. Woordvoerder just makes it hard to pronounce, so we drop the R completely and we simply say woordvoerder. This one, the last example, is a bit of an archaic word, apotheek. It is actually changed completely. The O fell away, and the word that we use now is simply apteek, where the original word had the O in it. But we only say apteek. Reg, so dit is klankweglating. On the opposite side of that, we have klanktoevoeging. Om toe te voeg by iets means to add something. Met ander woorde, klanke word bygevoeg. And the only real example here is where we have begin, which we then add a T at the end, and it becomes begint. Reg. So the next one is nasalering. So you can hear in the word nasal. And this is what I referred to in the beginning. It gets a bit technical at this point. So this has to do with the placement of your lips and your tongue while pronouncing these sounds. So die klank word deur die neus uitgespreek. So the sound basically becomes nasal. When you have the word wens, it is spelled W-E-N-S, but we don't say wens. When you pronounce an N, your tongue is right behind your teeth in the front. But because there's an E and the S at the end, the tongue moves a little bit backwards and we say wens. All right, so the N and the S becomes one sound. The same with ons, the placement of your tongue in your mouth changes and we pronounce the word nasally. Right, so dit noem ons nasalering. Die volgende een is ontronding, wanneer ons 'n klank plat uitspreek. So what happens here is that a round sound, we take away the roundness and we make it flat. An example here is skeer versus skeur. So what you actually mean to say is skeur, which means to tear. But if you say skeer, you actually change the meaning of the sentence because skeer means to shave. So you have to be very aware of how you pronounce the words to do it correctly. The second example I have for you is deur versus deur. Reg? So your lips are around deur, not deur. Deur in Afrikaans is not a word, and we all talk like that, but you have to remember the correct spelling is a rounded sound, deur. On the opposite side of this, we get oorronding. So when the sound is too round, when you are rounding your lips too much. So this is exactly the opposite of ontronding. Instead of making a ear, in this case, we are making a ear. For example, instead of saying teespoed, we say teespoed. Reg? Another example is when we change an A into a O sound. So instead of saying ma of pa, we say mo and po. Right, and that is what we call oorronding. The next one might sound very technical to you as well, so just listen carefully. Palatalisasie. So your palate is where your tongue moves, remember, like we said. So in this case, the sound changes completely, the way that you move your tongue to pronounce the word when you are talking quickly. For example, die G-klank word, if you had to spell it, it was going to be GJ, but you pronounce it as a sh sound. En die K-klank word a K with a J, but you pronounce it ch, right? A TJ. For example, geel becomes scheel. Kerk becomes kerk, right? So look at bietjie. For example, if you say bietjie, it just says easier than bietjie. All right, sometimes you get stuck and it becomes bietjie. The same with kind. Instead of kindjie, it becomes kindjie. Right? Once again, remember, you will get these terms as multi-choice and then you have to choose it. So you do have to understand the difference between these different concepts that we find for klankverskynsels. The last one that we are going to look at is vokaalreduksie. So die klank word verswak. We basically weakening the sound. For example, in the word patat, which is a sweet potato, instead of saying patat, we say patat because it just pronounces easier. Portrait, which is a painting against the wall, becomes portret. Reg? Then also sometimes we leave out a sound. Laat becomes lat, because when you're talking ek gaan laat wees. When you're talking quickly, you say ek gaan laat wees. Right? Of ek sal jou laat dit doen. So another example there is gaan, which becomes gaan. Right. So when you go through these klankverskynsels, make sure that you understand the difference between them and at least a couple of examples. You can find your references in this taalboekie vir leerders. I will see you next time.